You ever take the 16 personalities test? The Myers-Briggs test? It's an introspective self-report you can take to see how you perceive the world around you and how you make decisions. According to that test I have taken numerous times in high school, college, and at work, the combination of letters and traits that I've always arrived at, time and time again, is ENFP. There's a core tenet of this personality that I take to heart and really believe, and that is, you can change the world with just an idea. Let's dissect the sentiment for a bit. From a philosophical standpoint, ideas are usually taken as mental representational images of some object or an abstract concept. Something that makes us specially human is having the capacity to create and understand the meaning of ideas. I've never been to the French Riviera, but I have an idea of it as a beautiful and vibrant place because of Alfred Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief and Jean-Luc Godard's Pierrot le Fou. New or original ideas often lead to innovation, and it's by way of cinema that we can generate and process infinite new ideas. Ideas that challenge our current ways of thinking, ideas that make us uncomfortable, ideas that make us ourselves want to change the world. Or sometimes, it's through cinema that we develop a better idea of what love is. I think the best films personally are the ones that essentially hold up a mirror to you. When you look at the actions unfolding on screen, who do you see? You can change the world with just an idea. Change the world? Sometimes that's a tall task. How about changing one person's perspective? That person could simply just be yourself. Since we can't read minds, and we can't physically see what's inside each other's brains, that's why I think movies are powerful. Walking into a movie theater, plopping a seat, and watching the magical images grace the screen and hearing the enchanting language and music that emanate from the speakers, that's the closest way to seeing what's going on in another person's head. Someone conceived this world. Someone wrote it, someone storyboarded it, someone called the shots and brought to life something that was simply just an idea. If a movie is the closest thing we can get to seeing the world through another person's eyes, in this case the director, then watching that movie and then analyzing it is sort of like learning a new language. So really, in a way, movies are our instruments to better understand each other. Just like in the movies, I feel like as we go through our lives, we meet several people along the way. In our little run-ins, we try to gain a little sense of understanding of who we are individually and who we are in relation to other people. When the characters on screen are at their most vulnerable or at their highest of highs, however up or down they are, when it's the most feeling and revealing, that's when I connect to films more so than anything in the world. There was this one time I met Damien Chazelle when my college had a Whiplash Q&A at our school's TV studio. I was smiling ear to ear when he entered the room. I held on to every word he said as if it was a prophet, telling me all this information I needed to know to survive. At the time, I was already a huge fan of Whiplash, and I was able to gush about the film to him in person. Damien Chazelle was very appreciative of my words, thanked me for coming, and I was able to weasel in one more, admittedly simple question. If he could tell me any movie that inspired him, much in the same way that Whiplash inspired me at that point in my life. And his answer was The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. And he went on to describe this lovely, lovely film that, as you may know, was a primary influence for La La Land, a movie about the movies and the magic of dreaming and realizing something that is sort of in itself larger than life. I'll always be grateful for the few minutes I had talking with Damien Chazelle. There was something about meeting him in person that was so refreshing. He wasn't a character on screen, he was real. He could have been walking around my college campus that night and you wouldn't really pay him too much attention. He's pretty unassuming and pretty soft-spoken. But damn, did his ideas blow my mind and change my life. And that's really powerful. Movies are magic, movies are life, movies are our stories. We're learning new things every day, and there's always something new to be taken away from films for both you and me. Whether it be watching someone else's thoughts and ruminations, or perhaps you yourself are creating a world for others to explore, there is an infinite number of new ideas you can create by way of cinema. I've been fortunate and blessed to have made films with my friends and share them with all who've watched them. We may not be winning Oscars, but shooting these films were some of the best days of my life. I'll leave you with this quote from Ingmar Bergman, one of my favorite directors. Film as dream, film as music. No art passes our conscience in the way film does, and goes directly to our feelings deep down into the dark rooms of our souls.